the vast majority of people can't work from home during the pandemic, and their stories are, I think, a little bit untold. Let me give you an example. I was taking a British Airways flight this week, and I had no idea that British Airways had repurposed cabin staff. And also that repurposed their airplanes to fly to places like China and Turkey to get PPE. So, for those cabin crew, this was a very different sort of job than they had been doing before. It was very interesting to hear their story. So, have a listen to this Tim Talk episode. We're going to focus on those that can't work from home. Hello, Maria. Just a quick question for you. So, you said that you stayed home for quite a few months, but now you're back at work. What's really changed now that you're back? What's it feel like? Do you feel safe?
Everything is different, but to use all the disinfected and sanitizers and trying to protect myself.
And most people are wearing masks, so that makes you feel
Yes,
safe. Yeah.
yes, I would say yes, just from time to time, especially young people.
And so, how is business? Is it slower than normal, or?
Yes, it's much slower.
But you said earlier you were really glad to get back to work, so
Yes, I feel much better.
good, good. And last question for you. I mean, obviously the traffic's a lot less in London. Does that help make your job a little less stressful?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So except for the roadworks, right?
Yes, exactly.
So very good. Okay, thanks, Maria. It's one of the really cool parts of being at Heathrow was going to the BA lounge and seeing that it was one, it was really busy, and two, it was extremely well organized in terms of looking after passengers, particularly around the food and the drink. So let me start with the busyness of the lounge. So I was speaking to the one of the managers of the lounge, and she said, "Oh well, we've consolidated all of the flights into Heathrow. We don't have anything going out of Gatwick at the moment. We're able to move the staff to Heathrow, and so a lot of the lounge staff were not furloughed because they needed them in the end because they consolidated everything. So I thought that was really interesting. And she said, "Yeah, we've been really busy. It's almost been like normal." She said, "But it has actually been quite difficult because they have to not only look after the passengers, but now they've got all the COVID." Guidelines and trying to adhere to those. It makes the job really really busy. But she says she was really pleased to have the opportunity to still be working, which I thought was great. The other thing was they set up this app. So when you sit down at your table there in your chair in the lounge, you just scan the app and up comes a menu and you can order your drinks and your food. And literally within like 2 or 3 minutes of ordering, staff comes by, all COVID compliant, and drops off your drinks and your food. And that was really, I thought, extremely well organized because typically in the lounge it's a buffet sort of thing, which wouldn't be very hygienic. So I think that was really well done by British Airways on both counts. One, be able to keep staff, busy and not furloughed, and the other in terms of how they handled the operations to keep everyone safe. I thought it was exceptionally well done. And then onto the plane, and as you can see, really not very many people on. I would estimate there's probably about 30 people in total, so it's pretty sparse. But the staff super welcoming, everything again very well organized. And as you can see, I was very well taken care of by Kerry, Jack, Mo, and Anthony, and they told me some really interesting stories about what it's like to be a flight attendant, on these flights during the pandemic. All of them have kept working; they weren't furloughed, and have been really tasked with not only looking after passengers but also monitoring the cleanliness and the organization of the plane to keep it as safe as possible from COVID. Some of them, as I mentioned earlier, have even worked on flights going to pick up PPE in China and in Turkey, and other similar jobs that British Airways has put them on during the furlough. So it hasn't been, being a flight attendant as it normally has been, but they were all super engaged, very friendly, very happy to be working and felt safe. I think only one of them that they knew of all the BA staff had come down with COVID, so that was great news. So yeah, it was good to see things, still progressing, people still working, but it is a very different job than they've had before. The next Tim Talk episode is from my discussions with hotel workers and what it's been like for them working in the pandemic. Some really interesting discussions with them. And if you get a chance, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tim Talk.